Sixties day, you know, that's what we're all here, all these weird things. All that running, that's the thing. We've got a wind machine on there.
That's all right. Thank you.
And where you go, well, baby, I see your sun is shining. But I will make a fuss from which I'm here. And it's high silver.
Hi-ho Silver Lining, it's a Saturday, it's a mad Saturday as well. We're in Downham and it's 60s day, okay? Nothing unusual here, we do it all the time here.
Just because we get trying to cause a big sensation. Just talking about my generation.
Welcome to Downham Market.
Flamingo Blues there?
They're this year too, aren't they? They're in here this year. They're in the North Pole and South Pole. They're blooming cold places. We should go in hot cold places. Hot? You should go in hot. Hot.
We're going.
You know.
Say it again, sorry. Say it again.
What?
Say it again.
What? I'm not the real one, you know. And there's another one over there.
Hippie shake. This radio down the market. We're moored up on the town hall car park.
You were made for me. Don't pretend that you don't know. All the flowers in the fields were made to please the bees or the fish that float.
Chamber of Trade's designed to look after the interests of and promote outside of Downham Market the interests of the business community in Downham Market. Swinging 60s Day is a follow-up to Victorian Shopping Day last year, which was very successful and designed to put Downham Market on the map, to try and bring people from Norwich, Cambridge, Peterborough to the town so they can see what we've got to offer, and to in the hope that once they've been, they'll come back again.
So how do you feel it's going so far?
Well, very well. What's remarkable is how many people have dressed up. That's the most noticeable thing. Secondly, I think we've got 38 shops have joined in. There are hundreds of people. You can see the cars round you. We've got a fantastic selection. There are motorbikes down there. I think very well, and the comments we've heard are very positive. What it'll remain to be seen if the people who come today come back again. That's the aim.
So what sort of things have you put on today?
There are coffee mornings, there are charity stalls, there are raffles, there's a barbecue, there are lookalikes, there's the town crier, there are classic cars of the 60s, there are motorbikes of the 60s, East Anglian scooter clubs are coming, there is Hug a Husky where you can hug a husky for 10p, there's a circus troupe for children here, the Downham Marquettes are doing their majoretting. You name it, we've got it. Well, we hope we have anyway.
And you've introduced the park and ride scheme. Did you do that last year?
No, last year we didn't. This year, because we've taken 52 car parking places here, we've actually introduced a park and ride scheme and free taxis for the day. So the hope is actually that no local people at all are disadvantaged by not being able to park. Incidentally, all the market traders have dressed up as well, so it's a whole town day.
Good, good. So is this going to be something that you're going to continue? You've done the Victorian Day, the Swinging 60s Day. Any ideas for the next one?
Don't know. Don't know. We said if we do another Swinging 60s, there'll be 3 at the very most. So this will be number 1. We might have learnt enough this year to have another go.
Give over now, that's enough. Peace, like. Peace. We are the workers of A.T. Johnson's.
Which Beatle are you today?
Well, I'm just one of the Sergeant Pepper crowd, nobody in particular, just a Sergeant Pepper in general.
You're getting really involved in this, I can see.
Absolutely.
Obviously. You've got the radio station playing as well. What was the idea behind the Swinging 60s Day?
To bring people into town, to see what a good town we've got here, lots of things going on. The 60s is very good because people still remember it. There's still plenty of memorabilia around. As you can see, plenty of vehicles, plenty of cars, scooters and that. It's still all around and people can still do things with it.
Now, as a shop owner in the town itself, I mean, how do you sort of get involved in the chamber work?
We have regular monthly meetings. We try and look after the general business interests of the business community, particularly for shops, but we do have members covering industry and various other sort of aspects of the business community.
And of course the idea really is to bring people into town, into the shops. Do you feel that's
Absolutely,
working?
yes. I mean, you can see the number of people around town, not just only local people, but people from outside.
Have you actually sort of spoken to people from other towns?
Oh yes, yeah, I've been, I mean, some of the strangers in town, talking to them. I've personally been asked to have my photograph taken on the Abbey Road zebra crossing by several people. It's all a great fun atmosphere, it's really good fun.
I wish you the best of luck, and
Thank
I
you very
hope
much.
we're going to do something next year perhaps.
I hope so, I look forward to it.
Oh, you were made for me.
When I kissed you on your lips, I knew that you were made, you were made, you were made for me.
And Freddie now, Chief, of Freddie and the Penguins Dream is around town right now. So watch out for him. Karaoke time, he can sing.
Nice to be here at Downham Market with my friend. He's supposed to be dressed in 60s, I think he's in 90s.
I'll be on the door.
It never rained in the 60s.
My wife, Chris, this is Alan, plays drums. Occasionally.
Shake hands with him on the film.
Oh, listen. Alright, Bill. Come on. Well, we're going to wander around now.
Try saying that after a beat. And that's for those of you who haven't got tickets for tonight.
Flower showing. And the my wife's a good as well.
Real sell-off track I want to put back on. That's the Tracy Irons.
I've no company, John.
I tell you what, stop hitting my head.
What do you think of everything? 60s Day.
She's absolutely wonderful. It's lovely to see that the effort, and not just the shopkeepers have made, but all the members of the public coming through, including my sergeant, who entered into the spirit of it.
The old boy is still
Even the sergeant doesn't remember it first time around.
So what do you think to everyone's costumes and things like that?
Absolutely wonderful. We did try to get the 60s police uniforms, but because of health and safety at work regulations, we have to wear these. And we've got big truncheons, not the little weedy ones. Yeah? Is that okay? Please stop.
60s Day.
It's really
Excellent.
fun.
They got funny costumes.
Yeah,
What do you think of the costumes then?
They're funny.
Especially his mum's.
Thank you. Go in the back and go out. Go in the middle of the back.
Okay, so tell me what's going on today then.
Swinging 60s in HSBC.
And so, how long did it take you to dress up like that then?
Probably I got up about 6 o'clock this morning. Well, how long did it take you, Dawn? A few minutes, yeah. Mel? Well, you know what it took? It's about 2 minutes for you. It took longer to make our earrings. Yes. It took longer to
What are
make
they made out of
accessories.
exactly?
Curtain rings. Painted curtain rings.
So, how do you think the day is going in your opinion then?
Very good. Very good. It's nice to see a nice turnout on the town. We just wish the market wasn't there this morning. Because that meaning that they could see us more than we can see anybody outside.
So, have you been to any of the events that's going on there?
Yes, we went down and looked at the motorcycles. We won something on Taboola, didn't you?
Yes. Tomatoes. Always nice.
And Stu's going out in about 5 minutes' time.
We'll see.
To see what happens. Have a walkabout.
So, if there was another one next year, would you join in then?
Depends on what year it is.
Okay then. If there was another 60s Day then?
I think so. Yeah, I think we'll join in. Will you join in next year?
A new arrangement to marching through Georgia.
We're the Parent Teachers Association for Clacklow's school. I think it's spectacular.
Are you surprised at how many people have turned up there?
Actually, yes, I am. But I think it's good community spirit.
Definitely. So, if there was another one next year, would you join in as well?
Oh, definitely, yeah. I think it's absolutely fantastic. I've never seen anything quite like it.
So, yeah, you're having a good time then?
I'm having a wonderful time, thank you.
So what do you think to everyone's costumes?
I think they're wonderful. It just shows what a big effort
and gentlemen, the Downham Markets. You reckon of them? Got us a round of applause. Took a couple of weeks, no sleep. They've been practicing solid for 2 weeks to do.
I need love, love to ease my mind. I need to find someone to call mine. But Mama said you can't hurry love. No, you just have to wait. She said love don't come easy. It's a game of give and take. Can't hurry love. No, you just have to wait. You gotta trust, give it time. No matter how long it takes, but how many heartaches must I stand before I find the love to let me live again? Right now the only thing that keeps me hanging on when I feel my strength, yeah, it's almost gone. I remember Mama saying, love, no, you just have to wait. She said, trust, give it time. No matter how long it takes, you can't hurry love. No, you just have to wait. She said, love don't come.
Leaving for the coast. And although my eyes were open, they might just as well be closed. And so it
Hello, mods. You all right, everybody? Had a good time? I think, is it all right from Peterborough? You're all from Peterborough, all mixed up and all that sort of stuff? Peterborough, east of Anglia, we'll say, okay? So welcome the mods. I thought I'd play a couple of records for you to really get you in the mood, okay? First off, the Kinks.
Don't ever set me free. I always wanna be by your side. Always wanna be by your side. Girl, you really got me now. You got me so I can't sleep at night. You really got me now. You got me so I can't sleep at night. You really got me. You really got me.
It's the Kinks then. Because the mods are here, okay? By Downham and District Chamber of Trade, can we just thank everybody who's really had a little go at this, okay? We all have a little go, so this is for you. Get by with a little help from your friends. Watch out for Harry Krishna giving sweets away to the kids, okay? Big bald lads with an orange and white stuff on.
good. Such a big turnout, isn't it?
Everyone's made a real effort. Brilliant.
Are you surprised at how many people have turned up then and how big it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weather certainly helped, isn't it?
Yeah.
Being nice and that, everyone out.
It's nice to see the police with their flowers on their faces. Brilliant.
I think everyone's gone into it pretty well. I think.
I had my photo taken with him.
So are you surprised at how much effort everybody's made?
Yeah, it's really good.
It is good, but people do here. I think people do it here.
The 60s is such a happy time, though, wasn't it? Everyone was like taking. Everyone's sort of into the 60s, aren't they? Because of the fashion and the clothes, the lights, the cars,
especially the music.
Yeah.
So you're having a good day then?
Oh yes. Yes, we're having a very good time.
So will you be coming back next year then?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I live here, so
I'm
definitely.
hoping for the 70s, so I'll put the flares on next time.
Yeah. Big Afro week next year.
Oh yes.
Are you enjoying wearing your 60s gear then?
Yeah, so yeah, it's been a very good day, yeah.
What do you think of going this day to register?
Good. Yeah, there's a lot of people then.
Are they all being dressed up?
Quite a few of them have, yeah.
Are you fans of the 60s stuff then?
Yes, I am.
Do you like the music then?
Yes, yeah. It's been a good day, isn't it? Yeah. The weather's helped.
So have you been enjoying yourself?
Very good, very good. Yeah, that's brought the people out, hasn't it?
So are you into 60s clothing and music and things like that then?
Am I into it?
Yeah.
Not normally, no.
Just around the charity shops. Do you reckon you'll be dressing up next
Yeah,
year?
we're fine now, yeah. Yeah, I've got a bit more confidence.
So have you had a good day today then?
Yes, really. Because you meet people, don't you?
Oh, we got that still camera. Damn, if I'm going to do a song.
You don't know what you've been missing over when you're with me, oh boy. The world can see that you were meant for me. Dum 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 dum, oh boy. Dum 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 dum. All my love, all my kisses, you don't know what you've been missing over when you're with me, oh boy. The world can see that you were meant for me.
And from this point onwards, this tent begins to heat up, so we don't have too much time. He's going to attempt to juggle the torches. His record is about half a second, so he's trying to beat that today. If the torches go in the air, we're all going to go, ooh! Okay, so just try that. Let's try it again. Lovely, very nice. Here he goes then, going to beat his record of half a second. Into the air. We're going to count down from 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ooh! Well done. I believe that was almost a full second there, Jake. Splendid. He's going to put them out safely so that there's no nasty accidents. And then we're going to blow. Jake, you haven't done it properly. Never go home and play with fire in your own homes, having been watching Jake. No, don't go next door. Blow that one out properly, Jake. Pass them to me. We're going to sing to her. You can make a wish if you wish to. Yes. Happy birthday to you. Squash, tomatoes and stew. Dear Holly, happy birthday to you. Big blue Holly. Make a wish. Oh, well done.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, the Tom Tom Troupe, entertaining as always on a Saturday afternoon down, and thank you guys, very well done. Go and put your head out please, Jake, it looks a bit hot there, mate. Back to the sort of...
You can be here by 4:30, 'cause I made your reservation and be slow.
We've got a first prize and a joint second, and it's so close. It was 8 points separating about 5 or 6 window displays. So I'd like to ask the editor, Malcolm Powell, to come from the Lynn News, and Alan Taylor, who's the ad manager of the Lynn News Norfolk Citizen. I'm going to have Eric Roberts out here as well, who's chairman of the Chamber of Trade. So in joint second prize were Mr. B's and Luke's, okay? And they win a quarter-page ad in the Citizen and £25 cash from the Lynn News. Let's have a round of applause. We'll have that great stuff. There's Mrs. B's. Okay, and Lawrence. Now we haven't got anything to give you because there's all cash and stuff like that, so we will get that. Very well done. And the winners are My Fair Lady. Okay, My Fair Lady. They're so busy at the shop they can't afford to have anyone down. So what I'll do is invite Malcolm and Alan to present our chamber leader with the prize, the window trophy. They get a quarter-page advert in the Lynn News for free and £50 cash. So thanks everybody. Before you go home, just have a quick wander around and see them. Okay. Oh, and the trophy. Of course, you get the trophy. Anyone want to do a speech? Want to do a speech? Who's going to do a speech? It's got to be Malcolm. Here's the editor of the Lynn News.
Thank you very much. Shan't delay things too much longer. On behalf of the judges, it really was a terrific effort by Downham as a whole today. So many fantastic windows to look at, and as Mark said, we awarded only 8 points in between the first and number 8 windows. But what has really impressed us is really the community spirit being shown by the people of Downham today and all the shops and businesses. This really is a terrific town effort, and you should be really pleased with all the traders in the town of all the hard work they put on today for your enjoyment, basically. So apart from the effort being put on and the applause for the winning windows, I think really everybody here in the Market Square should put their hands together for the Downham Market Chamber of Trade for their hard work in bringing this all together. It really has been a terrific day. So let's have some applause for the Downham Chamber of Trade.
Thank you, Malcolm. Excellent all round. Before you go, just go up and down the streets and have a quick look in the windows because they are really fine efforts. Okay, if you bought a raffle prize, or at least a raffle ticket, now's a chance to see who's got the prize, okay? Okay, just to reiterate then, My Fair Lady come in at number 1, and a joint second between Luke's and Mr. B's, okay? Right. Okay, what is it? 2 tickets, okay. Do you want to shout this out? I don't know if they're still here. Chris and Nikki Robinson win the first prize, okay? Chris and Nikki Robinson. Anyone out there who know Chris Robinson, Nikki Robinson? They've won the first prize. I think it's a hefty voucher of £100 to spend in the Downham town. Okay, around the shops there. And prize number 2, we'll get this done as we do the photograph and mop that one up in a minute. We've got Tom Clark, who gets second prize. I think that's a £50 voucher to spend in the shops around Downham, I think, isn't it? Okay, so Tom Clark, if you're around here, make yourselves known to us, and we'll give you a prize, but if not, we'll certainly get to you. I've got telephone numbers on there, so no problem. Is that it then? Raffle prize is done? Well done. Okay, a quick photo opportunity to be done now for the window competitions, I think. Have you got that ready? Dan? There she is, okay, right. Mr. President, yeah, he's got that, he's here, the hairy person. Hey, stuff, good stuff. Your jacket needs a shave. Oh, you want me in? Okay, is it camera shockproof, I hope. Had a good time, everybody? Had a really good time? I hope so. Come on across here. Mrs. B's gone. She's buzzed off. Sorry, that was terrible. Got it? Thanks a lot. Okay, about quarter of an hour, I think, to go. Yeah, 10 minutes will make it until the old boat has to draw off down at the wash. Well done, everybody. Excellent effort.
Yes, really good that is, yeah.
In art terms. It is. Thank you. We need sweets on the house. Okay, we've got lots of sticky stuff. And that all needs to get stuck on. We need to make nice patterns. Sweeties. Yeah? Yeah? Oh, and that's a bit ambitious. I don't know if that will work. Come on, you're good at unpeeling these. But these all unpeeled. Oh, this one looks good. What's that for? What's that going to be? Is it something to the house? Decoration. It's something the witch puts out to entice little children in. Along with all the sweeties. That's good. Very good. Let's just put a bit of tape on there. Keep it on. I think we need more sweets on house. Sweets on the house.
Freddie, welcome to Downham.
Oh, thank you. It's nice being here, actually. I came yesterday and walked around the town and that, and it's very, very nice. And I think it's such a success, you know, what this 60s theme, and I think it's great to all the people in the town for what they've done.
We've obviously had the classic cars and the bikes and all that kind of thing out
Yes.
there. I mean, that obviously must bring back a lot of memories for a lot of people, but I mean, what does it bring back for you?
Well, I was walking past them, you know, and I said, look at this car. It's older than me, and it had 1934. Well, I was born in 1936. And I thought they were tremendous. I see some beautiful cars there, you know, fantastic. My memory of the first car, I used to have an old Banger. It was first of all, I had an Armstrong Siddeley and the doors fell off, right? And then I had an old Banger, and then I got a hit record, and I went out and bought a new E-Type Jag, and it was 338 VU. First car I'd had, 4 miles of bonnet. So my memory of the 60s is my E-Type Jag, and driving Roy Orbison, taking Roy to the theatre and being stopped for speeding by the police.
That's a claim to fame now.
Well, isn't it? Well, a funny thing was, we were doing the tour with Roy, and I invited Roy around to my house. Now, the house we lived in was like a little 2 up and 2 down, terraced house, you know, cost £600. And the car outside was £1,800. So, I mean, that's how mental I was, you know, really.
You must be quite honoured because basically you are the star that is here.
representing the 60s day?
Well, I feel very honoured actually. I feel honoured yesterday that at the Collectors World they opened this room, and it's a big photograph or a big painting of myself, 7 foot high, that Alan, the drummer, had done, and it's absolutely tremendous. And it's a tribute to the 60s, but it features Freddie and the Dreamers more than anyone else. I think that's simply because Nick's father, right, who runs it, Eric, he's a Freddie and the Dreamers fan, and I think that his son being in the group, obviously that added to it as well.
Can we just ask you, gentlemen, why are you not dressed in 60s clothes?
We are.
Oh,
I've got my Elvis shirt on, look, and my leather jeans. He's got his leather coat on.
Yeah, and blue jeans on. What do you think they wore in the 60s? Space suits?
Prior to the Dreamers, it was the Red Sox skiffle group. We used to wear bright red socks. I finished with the band, and I decided that, I'd had enough sort of thing, and the girlfriend I was going out with didn't want me anymore. So what I did, I sold my amplifier and my guitar to a lad called Roy Crutzen. And Roy had this skiffle group called the Kingfishers. And he said, I was coming back from the pictures one night, and he says to me, I asked him how things were going on. He said, oh, it's fine. He said, why don't you pop in to a rehearsal and see what you think? And the girl I was going out with said, yes, you do, meaning don't. And I did. Right? So on the Friday went round, and then the following Friday went round, and the following Friday went round. So in the end, they asked me if I would lead the band. So I said, well, we need to find a new name for the band. And at that time, I was selling brushes in the area where I lived, and it was well known, that we were looking for this name. And a lady says to me, she says, have you found a name for the band yet? So I says, no, not yet. So she said, oh, you're a lot of dreamers. So I thought, oh, dreamers, that sounds quite good. And we had a chat with the lads, and all I got together and decided, we call ourselves the Dreamers, and then eventually it became Freddie and the Dreamers. So that's the story, folks.
I mean, obviously you've had several big hits. The one that springs to mind for me was You Were Made For Me.
Right.
But that wasn't your first hit, was it?
No, If You're Gonna Make a Fool of Somebody was the first hit. And it was apparent when we'd done the song, it was a good song, but it was the routine we did to the song that sold the record. So obviously the next song was a song I wrote with Mitch Murray called I'm Telling You Now, and we applied a routine that we used to do to a bachelor boy when we used to take the mickey out of the Shadows. Applied that dance routine to I'm Telling You Now. Prior to me being interested in skiffle or anything, I was an Al Jolson fan and going down on one knee. And the next song was You Were Made For Me. I went down on one knee. Obviously, it was the Jolson influence. And again, visual aspect, kicking our legs out and all that. 3 dance routines, 3 hit records. The 4th record, which was a hit, went to number 9. And it wasn't as successful because there was nowhere our legs could go. We'd gone everywhere, So we dropped the routines after that.
And the strange thing is, you've not had a British #1, and yet you've been #1 in the US.
That was 2 years later, in 1965. Again, it was the visual aspect. What had happened was that Brian Epstein had a program. He was hosting a program in America, and he said, there's a group in England called Freddie and the Dreamers, and they're very funny. I'll show you a clip of them. They showed this clip of Freddie and the Dreamers singing I'm Telling You Now. I got invited across to America. We performed on a show that was being hosted by Trini Lopez. And Trini says to me, he says, this dance, what's it called? And I thought, dance? I had no idea what to say. And so I said, oh, it's the Freddie. Next minute, we were #1 with I'm Telling You Now. 6 months later, they brought out a song called Do the Freddie. And it was a dance craze over America. So 65 was a great year for me.
Hey, Dana! Can you hear us? Robin Craddock from West Beach. When the sun beats down and melts the tile upon the roof, and the streets get so hot, you wish your tired feet were fireproof.
Oh, yeah, I knew the Beatles very well. In 1965, we appeared on the Beatles Christmas show at Hammersmith Odeon. And I came on swinging on a rope wearing a tutu and said I wasn't daft. And Jimmy Savile was hosting the show, and it was the Yardbirds. Elkie Brooks was bottom of the bill. You know, she was an unknown sort of thing. And that was one period. And then, of course, when I'm in the studio recording at Abbey Road, same place where the Beatles recorded, I went in to see the lads, and I was introduced to Yoko. And John Lennon says, I got it, it's Yoko. So I met Yoko and had passed the time on and this, that and the other. So I knew the boys quite well, yes.
Freddie's on later. Got a Freddie leg dreamers.
Somebody gets back all the stuff in the middle of the stage. So
can you see the drummer? We have got a drummer.
We've got a drummer.
He's there, but can you hear him all right?
This is the first time back in 10 weeks because I was in Connecticut and had a mild heart attack, and so I've had to sort of rest, you know. So that's the reason. But tonight's so important because, you know, I want to do a good performance here. And I've got a super group, you know, they really are a fabulous group. We've set up now for tonight. We've yet to do a sound check, but I think people will be pleased with us. I hope so, in any case.
So I take it none of the backing band, the Dreamers, are the original?
No, they're all Japanese copies.
What the rest of the lads?
Well, Roy, the one lad I met in the Avenue, who played rhythm guitar, he's got a bar, 2 bars in Tenerife, one called Churchill's and one called Dreamers. Right, Derek Quinn, I think, is a rep for a drinks firm, I'm not quite sure. Bernie Dwyer, nobody knows what Bernie does. He plays in a cellar now and again, just keeps his hand in playing drums. And then Pete Bill got cheesed off with all the travelling, so he's now driving a taxi.
Well, good luck tonight.
Thank you, thank you.
If you gotta make a fool of someone,
Ladies and gentlemen, what about the legendary Mr. Freddie? Thank you. La, 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 la. You
fantastic. It's absolutely wonderful. Really is. Couldn't be better, could it? Everybody's taking part and everybody's having fun, which I think is great, really. Yeah. That's what it's all
You've really
about.
got into it, haven't you?
Yes, well, and the glasses as well. Does that finish it off?
Certainly does.
You're pleased with that, are you?
Yes.
Oh dear. I hate to think if is Florence editing this.